Hello again, RoyZesch.REALTOR here with Coldwell Banker Legacy in San Angelo. Today I want to talk to you about title insurance and all the things that go into it. So a little bit of background. When in Texas at least, when you have a title to a property, that's recorded at the county clerk's office. That's the main function of the county clerk in the counties in Texas, is to keep track of all these properties. So this property, from the first time it went on record to today, from the Spanish land grants or whatever it dates back to, there's a chain of title that you can follow and go back. It's all recorded with the clerk's office in the county that shows all the things that have happened and been recorded relative to that property. Now, when properties are subdivided, it gets a little complicated. And then they're subdivided again and subdivided again. They sold off half here and they sold off an acre here and different things like that. And then they're platted, which kind of starts part of the process over again when they're platted into subdivisions and things like that. Then houses are built on them. All those things are recorded. And then through the years also mortgages, deeds of trust, liens, all those other things are recorded there as well. So what happens when you have a contract on a property to buy or sell, then what is going to happen is the title company is going to go back and they're going to do all the research they can back to as far as they can go to figure out if there's any issues with the title. They're looking for a lien that's been recorded against it. They're looking for mortgages. They're looking for anything, easements, anything like that that would be a restriction on your use of the property when you're buying the property. And just for a tidbit, the seller generally pays for the title insurance and then all the title research that goes with it in Texas. So they're going into anything that could affect the buyers, the next buyer's rights to that property. Any restriction on those rights, whatever it is. So like I say, it's a power line easement, a telephone line easement, water, sewer, any of those things. All of those will be noted at least in the title report, title commitment. And once all that's done, then they're going to show the buyer the information that they have. We know about these issues. Frequently, or not frequently, but it occasionally happens that there are some of those that actually have to be corrected beforehand. You find a lien against the property that wasn't caught or happened during this owner's time, then that lien will have to be fixed before the lender will do anything, will loan money on the property, because that lien will be in a position above them, so that the lender will not loan the money because they might not be able to foreclose on the property or get the property without paying off that other lien. So they're going to do all the research they can to try to find it out. But then there's the title insurance, because what happens is these things get so complicated. There's so many different transfers of title in literally 150, 70, 80 years of history that it's really difficult to get exactly what you need to have. Make sure 100% that you have everything. So the title insurance is an insurance company guaranteeing that if there is an issue discovered later that affects your title as the owner, that they will correct it. And that as much up to, it can't even be up to as much as paying you the purchase price of the property if they can't fix a issue that causes a major restriction in your ability to use the property as intended. So if you buy a house and then they find out later, this doesn't happen very often, but theoretically that, there's an easement right through the middle of it for a gas pipeline and you can't build a house there. Well, in that case, if they miss that, which again almost never happens, they will go and they will make it right. They will reimburse you for the property so that you can move out of that house because it can't be there, and you will go on and be able to take that money and buy another house. But most of the time it's minor things. It's a lien. Lien is easy to get lost in the shuffle. There may have been a lien 4 owners ago, 20 years ago on the property, and this person's owed $1,000, and so the title insurance will actually pay that to get that lien removed, so you have restored the use of the property that you thought you had at purchase. So when you get the title commitment from the title company prior to this, now the insurance is going to be part of what you're doing at closing almost all the time, but the title commitment will show any things that they know of that are restrictions to your use of the property, so easements, different things like that. And so then if those are major issues that you're not happy with, and you can actually, depending on your contract, get out of them at that time if those are restrictions that are going to keep you from using the property as intended. But anyway, it's sort of a complicated process, and it's very important. It's one of the things, as your agent will go I will go sit there with you if you want to and go through I will go through the title commitment before I send it to you. And then we can go through it together. You can ask questions. You can see the restrictions that are on there and how they might affect your use of the property today and in the future. So it's again, it can be a little bit of a complicated process, and most of the time it all goes along without any hitches. There's so many things in real estate are that way, that there's not a problem until it's a problem, and you do hundreds of them and there's no big deal, and then all of a sudden one time there's a big deal. So that's why you pay that title insurance, to protect your peace of mind and your lender's value in the property, to make sure that there's no issues that can't be fixed, corrected. So any more questions, give me a call, 325-268-0775. RoyZesch.REALTOR. Thank you.